shows are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Welcome to the Edventures in Tech podcast, talking the latest tips and trends in educational technology to innovate and engage your students. Here are your hosts, Andrew and Dan.
We are back and we never left, instead of better.
There you go.
Welcome to episode number 72 of the Adventures in Tech podcast. I am Andrew.
And I am Dan.
We're glad you have joined us on this venture. Of course, if you like the content, please help out, provide feedback or rating on wherever you download your podcast from. We greatly appreciate your support. Dan, the sun is shining. The weather is starting to turn, even though I know you're going skiing soon.
Yep, headed up to Canada.
That's it, He's practicing his French-Canadian up there.
And I'm excited to get some poutine.
Oh, yeah. Though but that just sits in your stomach.
I don't care.
I'm like, oh, wow. You head north, I head south. The spring break's coming, and we will be back to talk to you after the spring break. But first things first, let's talk the Hudson Valley Artificial Intelligence Summit at Marist University is coming up April 9th. You can obviously check that out, and if you want to attend, you can check out their website for more information. We did have the AI Digital Learning Summit the other day at DC BOCES. Well attended, right? It was
well
great.
Attended,
Dan.
yeah.
It was good.
For an inaugural event, I think it went very well.
Yes. Kudos to the staff, our friend Kara over there at BOCES, who really worked hard to utilize to put that together. So it was great. Other happenings, Dan, that you want to kind of anything specific? I know everybody's kind of like in that. I know we have a lot coming up.
We do. It's a lot exciting, a lot not so exciting coming up.
Yeah.
May is not high on my list when it comes to having to monitor AP exams.
Right, with the tech components, yeah. But it's getting better.
It's getting better.
And we think that we have the system pretty much flushed out where it's pretty efficient. And then we just need to, maybe we can create Hey Gen proctors for it. How great would that be?
I'm just going to be quiet.
Come on, that would be awesome.
I don't want to have to make you edit something out.
That's awesome.
But
I'm going down that rabbit hole.
Well, let's see. I mean,
a lot of fun projects coming.
A lot of fun projects. I'm looking forward to the Civic Seal project with the 8th grade coming up at the end of April.
That's your roots right there.
That's
Middle
my
school
roots.
social studies. You're all about it.
So I think we still have a little bit of planning to get set with that, but I'm looking forward to that. Other things coming up, it's just...
It'll get busy very quickly.
It will.
It's hard to believe that once spring break it's like full speed ahead. And there's no stopping.
Yeah, and there's still a lot more podcasting on our schedule. It's quite surprising on how busy we are with the podcasting component. I mean, well, we're podcasting now. How long have you been on a microphone today?
Long enough.
I'm just saying.
Nobody else needs to hear me speak. Let's be honest. But no, it's a good thing because we always go back to the multiple means of representation and the principles of UDL and everything like that. And students really, I'm an auditory learner,
me
right?
Too.
And so you and I are very similar in that way. And it's just amazing this is one where kids can create their own, as we talk about. And now they can just they can learn from all of the different components with podcasting and how it's built into so many different platforms, as we mentioned on the episode last week with Notebook LM. It's the same idea. So very exciting in that regard.
And the new, I don't, maybe we call it a hack, not really a hack, but the new podcasting editing that we figured out to be much more accessible.
Right. Go ahead and go into that. That's important.
Well, just so, and I know we're speaking to people all over, but when we think about podcasting, we do use a lot of the Rode Studios, podcasting studios and mobile units in our classroom to give that authentic experience. And then we wind up with a WAV file that often needs to be edited. And there's not really a good web-based editor that at least we were able to find.
Especially on a Chromebook.
On a Chromebook that students can use. So we do have MacBooks that we're able to bring around with us and use GarageBand, which is a great editing tool.
Absolutely.
And then even with our iPad Pilot, they're able to use GarageBand on the iPads. But... it's a lot. It's a big lift to download, upload, edit, and
understand it, right?
And get it. But was trying to figure out a way, and then using Canva. And I think we were talking about Canva a lot today.
Canva code, Canva everything. Yeah.
But so we were having kids as we always did, use Canva to design their thumbnails. And then I was sitting there working with, it was English classes, and it was actually every kid making their own audio recording. So to use the Macs that were limited in number was a big lift. So I started playing around in Canva and realized, I don't know why I didn't realize this sooner, but was able to take their audio files just as the WAV files from our Rode Studios and put them in as audio into their Canva creations. And you can split, balance, and do all the audio editing right in Canva. And then it's automatically attached to their thumbnail, especially if you resize. If they did it as a presentation, you just resize it as a video.
Yeah.
And it worked out well. So for
seamless,
we had 3 classes, 3 or 4 classes. Each record their individual audio recording podcasts. And we did that last week. And I just was checking with the teacher before that, and they're done.
That's great.
They're mostly done with the recording, the editing, and the publishing of it.
I would say with that, too, is, a lot of times fear is it's a heavy lift, right? Like it's going to be this massive undertaking to do these different means of representation that we talk about. This, obviously, within a week, they were able to record, the backpack systems, upload, edit, done. Right. So not as much of a heavy lift as some people may think. So definitely reach out. And obviously, if anybody has questions on what we do and how do we utilize it with, specifically with podcasting, please definitely let us know. Reach out to either Dan or myself. So
kudos to Canva.
That's it. All right. So let's hit the weekly windup. I know we talked a little bit last week about Notebook LM. Well, there's now even more ways to customize and interact with your content in Notebook LM. So they're giving users more flexibility when uploading those sources, new ways to create and edit visuals from Notebook LM, and improvements to the interactive study tools. So slide revisions, so users can now revise their presentation content.
And
Go ahead.
I just want remember we just did a PD on it 2 weeks ago, and how do we edit the slides? I'm like, well, you got to drop it into Canva, and you have to do a text grab. Nope, they do it slide by slide.
Efficiency, right? Yeah. So you can ask for changes, you can fix issues, both desktop and mobile. You can submit stylist or factual feedback for each slide, and the slides are regenerated quickly as a new deck in the studio panel. So exactly what we were talking about. We're like, oh, it's gonna be more of a heavy lift. Nope, not anymore, as Dan just mentioned. So they also have now cinematic video overviews. They're immersive deep dive videos with fluid animations and rich detailed visuals to help you learn and engage with the topics you care about. Gemini models make hundreds of structural and stylistic decisions to best tell the story with your sources. These videos are ideal for visualizing complex narratives and academic research. So that's great.
And I like what they've done with the infographics, because you can now choose your style. Sketch note, professional, scientific, anime. And I like the custom ones, too, that you can put in a description.
There's a lot. And again, as we talk about multiple means of representation, there's a visual component that can really break down that information into little chunks to make sure students understand it.
And the one thing, too, it's not new, but it's still fairly new with Notebook LM. With the audio, with the podcast, they do have an interactive mode.
Yep.
And for those of you that haven't used it, I suggest trying it out.
It's Dan's favorite.
It is, because all of a sudden the podcast turns into a conversation.
I got you.
Conversation. So when I hit that join, the podcast will stop. Oh, we have a guest that has a question. And then I just talk into, and it's like I'm interacting with the host.
Crazy. It's
wild.
wild.
I can ask them, can you say that again? I don't quite understand it. Can you say
Explain
it in a different
better
way? And I can have those conversations with my sources. And that's the cool thing. I'm actually having a conversation with the sources.
It's just wild.
Not some hallucinating chatbot that's just making something up.
If you have not tried that, Dan's right. You need to it's mind-boggling.
It is.
They just stop and, oh, hey, They also improve flashcards and quizzes, so progress is now saved and loaded across sessions when using flashcards and quizzes in Notebook LM. And now users can also mark flashcards as got it or missed it, shuffle the deck, and use a new result screen to rerun any cards they miss. So you talk about definitions and everything. It's just so powerful. The flashcards or quiz questions can now be deleted as well. And again, these improvements are available on both web and mobile. So lots, going on there. And then we have more file types. Right. So now you can do EPUB files as a source for ebooks, which how, a lot of schools are going to completely digital textbooks and EPUB. Like, you put your book up chapter by chapter, whatever now, unbelievable. And then PowerPoint exports. So you can now export those generated slide decks as PowerPoint X files if needed to, in addition to PDF. So that's, that's great. The chat improvements, Dan, right? Saved and secure conversation history. So if you close it, resume it later, you'll still have your conversation history. You can still delete it, right? Your chat is visible only to you in shared notebooks. And then the artifact creation in chat, you can now do that as well. Instantly transform those chat conversations into those studying audio overviews, video overviews, tailored reports, and much, much more. I know we're in March, April, whatever. By next school year, I don't even know where Notebook LM will be.
I agree.
It's crazy.
It is. But once again, we don't know how it's going to be. But, when we look at all these features, let's always remember, like, it's doing some really cool things, but let's always remember, like, its purpose is to serve as a notebook.
Exactly.
It's that, providing those multiple means of representation and engagement for individual students. And, of course, you can create it for your entire class and build your own. But, let's remember it's not that collaborative workspace. It could be, but
not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. And I do think it's really individualized learning there.
Yeah.
As kids take notes in their old Trapper Keepers, let's say, right?
I wish I still had a Trapper Keeper.
But for lack of a better term there, like, they take those notes now, just the digital environment is just going to be great in that regard. So another cool update that came out from Google was audio summaries in Google Docs, which is a Gemini-powered feature. It enables you to listen to a brief overview of your documents, which will help you get up to speed quickly and understand the most important parts of your content. So it's built completely within. If you need to quickly catch up on notes, whether it's before a meeting or you need to study something, summarize a long report, get the highlights in only a few minutes. So you can definitely have the audio summary thing. You can personalize that experience with different voices, whether it be narrator, persuader, coach, and much more. And, of course, adjust playback speeds to suit your preferences and your learning styles. Now, to access this, it should already be rolled out as well in your Google Docs, itself. You just go to Tools, and then you go down to Audio, and you can listen to the document summary and so forth more. So, if you don't have that, just check with your Google Workspace admin, but that is a great feature as well.
Absolutely. So, things are changing rapidly, and it's just what's being incorporated for a lot of the different tools, especially on the Google side. Yeah. With the AI being more seamlessly integrated. I think we talked about it before, but even right into Google Classroom, and then using Gemini directly in Google Classroom to create your quizzes, to look at all those different things. And also now you can attach your notebooks. Yep. You can attach your gems, which is new. And you can also, which is brand new, you can also do an audio recording right in Google Classroom, a video or a screen recording. Yeah.
It's really becoming like a one-place shop.
It is. So
it is great. So we're going to talk about Google Meet real quick, very, very briefly, because in the educational space with students, you're not meeting as much anymore. However, there is admin and other meetings. There's a new safeguarded guest admin flow assist that will help hosting in meetings when you need to respond to users who is knocking. And you can also deny those bots, which is important because there's so many bots nowadays that are taking notes or whatnot. And if you don't know them, you just automatically deny them access as a safeguard. So check that out in Google Meet. So Dan, the other thing is I know you talked about...
Go ahead. We're talking about the updates, but you brought up Google Meet. To your teachers out there, when you're done with your classes, please make sure you archive them. Also, if you're not using Google Meet, and you can keep that Meet link hidden as well, because you don't want to leave some of those open resources out there for people to still go in and use those Meet links and everything you may have.
Correct, when they're not monitored.
Yes.
Exactly. So we were talking about Canva, and I came across this, which I thought was kind of cool, a time saver for teachers, the Canva Teacher Work Kit, right? So something...
Jake.
Well, yeah. So JakeMiller.net is our good friend Jake, and he was talking about, this is going to give you more time to do whatever you need to do with those extra minutes, right? It's basically the Canva Teacher Work Kit, and we'll send the link, is a collection of ready-made templates designed specifically for educators. The best part is no design skills are necessary, and more importantly, no time to design is required. So you can simply pull up a template, tweak it to fit your needs, and have something professional and engaging ready in minutes. So whether it's review games, guided practice, SEL resources, or sequence lesson plans, you can really focus on what matters for you.
Yeah, a lot talking about Canva. I'm getting more and more impressed about what you can do in that space. I will be honest, sometimes I don't feel it's the easiest to navigate.
That's fair.
But I think once you get in there, and I think this Jake Miller resource will help people with the navigation.
Especially if you're just starting to dip your toe in the water. Mm-hmm. You know, it can become overwhelming, like you said. There's so many templates, and if you really need something, start with the teacher tool. Because Canva, you got to remember, it's bigger than just education.
Right.
You know, it goes beyond. There's users, graphic designers using it all the time. And now it's much bigger than the educational space. So use this the teacher toolbox, and it's definitely a way to get yourself started with that. Our good old friend Matt, right? Matt Miller just had a recent blog post about using Google Slides to create Instagram stories in class. This isn't exactly new, but he's basically now kind of going over the how can we use it in the classroom to make sure you level up engagement and create those amazing classroom experiences. So pretty cool to have a template. Anything you want to add to it, Dan?
I mean, we've used this template before.
Yeah.
I love using those social media type templates.
Yep.
If we can engage in the social media space per se without
in a safe way.
A safe way. I'm just wondering now, how do we take that? I want to play now Instagram stories using Google Vids.
Well, there you go. Right. So it's a matter of, you know, which platform are you going to feel comfortable with, and how do you want to manipulate it? You got to massage it for what you need.
Right. So I'm thinking, because we can use that same template, because the vids will work off the slide deck as well. Maybe we can add in those extra.
I think we'll talk about that next episode with the new thing that I had mentioned that's being released.
Well, see, you previewed that to me earlier, so
got the wheels turning.
I got the wheels turning.
The other thing that we will share is, and the hard part is, it's going to rapidly change, but the guide for using Notebook LM, something that we found with it basically goes over the model, the purpose, sample prompts, who it's best suited for, feature function, use cases, benefits, and more. And I found this as freeguides.cc, which is Creative Commons by Andrew Bolus. But if you want to visit freeguides.cc, you can definitely get a quick LM cheat sheet, which is always good to have as well. All right, so Dan, something I wanted to talk about is we're seeing this more and more and more and more, and you and I go back and forth trying to figure things out. I have a couple different, articles that I really want to talk about, because people are asking, what is safe? What am I going to use? What should I use? How could I use this? And I literally had a teacher text me this the other day. It's not working. This isn't working. Why can I put images in here? And I'm like, oh my Lord. So I was like, we should really just talk about a couple different things. So
we should. And talking, I mean, things are changing, but we did something maybe 2 years ago talking about the differences between Gemini and Chat and
Copilot, Grok,
so,
Perplexity, all of them.
A lot of them are they're using different large language modules. They're pulling their ways in different things. So, one chat bot might do something better or differently than another one. So if you have an idea of what strengths and weaknesses, and also what you're comfortable with, it would be choosing that right thing.
Right, and I think there's a couple things. So let's put our hats on from data privacy and everything like that. Depending upon what your district is, whether it's a Google Workspace or a Microsoft district, I'm going to speak specifically to the Google Workspace here. Gemini is covered underneath your data privacy agreement for users in your Workspace account, right? So that is safe for you. It is safe for students, right? Students can access it, and it is covered underneath. Google has signed those educational law agreements as needed. I can't speak specifically for Microsoft, but I'd say they're probably, right along the same lines, right?
Right.
Most people don't even know to use that, right? Like they're like, oh, Gemini, some people use it, some don't. And you were diving deep into it, looking to see who's using what the other day, and how it's being routed. That's another whole conversation with securely for us. But a lot of people, when they think AI, they automatically just go right to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, Grok,
right. And they're not, we don't have an agreement with them. They're not going to sign that. So if you're using that, be careful is just the way I would be. Personal use, you do you, but I'm saying within your, the confines of your workplace environment. And when we get to students, depending upon ages and everything, it's blocked. And they're not going to be able to use it because there is no signed privacy agreement in that regard.
Right. And while you're talking, I just pulled up my Gemini in my district Google Workspace, and it says clearly on the bottom, your district chats aren't used to improve our models, so that data
Safeguard.
is not going out. Though I would still be cautious. I wouldn't be putting in PII into it. But
write the human instead of the student's name, right?
The human.
But let's be honest. So when we we talk about, our Microsoft friend, Michael Jabor, way back when.
Way back,
when AI was just starting to scratch the surface and OpenAI and Copilot and everything, and Sam Altman was leaving and then he's back and so forth. But AI assistants have quickly moved from just experimental tools to everyday work companions in all facets and spaces. They're embedded in, higher level teams, how they write code, they research, they collaborate, they schedule emails. We've all seen how they draft emails, schedule meetings and draft emails for us. They analyze the data. We've looked deep into that and summarized that complex information. They are designed to reduce the manual effort and free up time for that higher value human work, right? And, customer service is using it and this and that. So just, as we talk about the most popular AI tools, you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Copilot, you have Claude, Perplexity, and you have Grok, right? And each was designed with different capabilities and strengths in mind. ChatGPT, it's an all-rounder for general users. Gemini integrates tightly with Google tools. So that's being a Google district, kind of just, shines that way. Copilot with Microsoft. Claude emphasizes safe and accurate outputs, and Perplexity specializes in real-time knowledge retrieval. And Grok is optimized for fast conversational use on social platforms, which you will probably not be using in the educational space. So, but remember, their target users and ideal use cases vary based on those things. And what we're seeing is users often prefer ChatGPT because it was like the one that came out first.
And that's like you were mentioning, just like your cognitive partner. Like
exactly.
Sometimes when I just need like a brainstorming or a discussion, or I'll go into chat and I'll use that. But when you want to really get into things, like if I'm looking at if I'm planning a lesson or something, a unit, or to deliver, and I want to make sure I want to bring in some good sources into the material. Like I'm really looking for some peer-reviewed articles or different things. I'll go to Perplexity for that research assistant because it makes it very easy to find those sources and work within the sources that are there. So I think having an overall idea, as you mentioned, what each one does well, will help you with your own workflow. Yeah,
and specifically for us as we started, because I find myself bouncing back and forth between Chat and Gemini. What about you? The meat and potatoes of it. Those are the two
Those are the two that I think I mostly do. I was a big user in Claude with its Anthropic platform, and I haven't been in a while, but I'm starting to look at that a little bit differently, just because sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but it is more like human focus, like with safety and ethics and
the less bias component.
It kind of like it's a little. I don't know how to quite put my finger on it, but I think if you try and go experiment for yourself, have the same prompts and the same things, or look for the same results in the different ones and see how things are different.
Right. See the results you get.
I find some things with Claude are especially when. Even if I'm planning something for like a humanities aspect or trying to gather some multiple perspectives on, if I'm want to find and analyze and bring in a variety of primary sources over a topic from different viewpoints, I feel Claude is a little bit better in that regard than chat or something else.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And when you talk about, I'll get into Claude, but Gemini versus ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is known for its creative versatility, the polished outputs, and wide integrations. With Gemini is designed for seamless multimodal performance, combining the text, the images, and even code with deep connections to Google's ecosystem. So Chat, they're saying, is best for the content creation, productivity, and everyday workflows, while Gemini is ideal if you need tight integration with your Google tools or those multimodal capabilities.
Yeah, and if you ever watch when you're prompting something in Gemini, it kind of will say like analyzing, and then it'll go like Google Workspace because it's looking for because it can integrate right into your Google Workspace with the files that you have there. And I feel like the output is really tailored towards working within the Google ecosystem.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, Claude AI, it does shine in handling that long, complex documents and providing that data-driven analysis with a strong focus, like you mentioned, on safety and ethics, which is it's an important component. There's no doubt about it. The question: how do you choose the right AI assistant? And
well, I think that moves into like there is no right.
Right.
I think it's like anything now. AI is just more than just AI.
Right.
And you're trying to look at your purpose and what you're trying to create. So even when I'm working in chat or, I'm still going in and using the skeletons of chats that I've already created or creating different workflows for me that I'm already going to set up for that pre-prompting and pre-research. Or in Gemini, I build gems for my own personal use, so I'm not recreating conversations all the time. I can have my feedback gem, I can have my research gem, I can do the same thing in chat or any of the other areas. So instead of starting conversations from scratch every time and trying to re-prompt the same thing for the results, which often don't come back the same.
Yep.
I can set that up and reuse those different agents.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of benefits of using multiple platforms.
Oh, sure.
Right? And you're going to, like you said, understand or know through experimentation which one's the best. And let's be honest, AI is still in its early stages of development.
It is.
And how something we say now could be changed in 2 weeks. And it will be probably, right? And each AI platform has its unique benefits. It has its limitations. But using, whatever platforms you want, like Chat, Gemini, Perplexity, and Tandem, you kind of can compartmentalize your tasks and create a more efficient, organized workflow, which is ultimately what's the ultimate goal of it, right? Is to make sure that it saves you the time. I mean, that batch, we talk about, how Brisk specifically for us, and the batch feedback is, you get that tailored down to what you want. It's pretty remarkable and of what it can do. So AI in general, you think about it, reducing your cognitive load, right? Streamlining content production, the memory management, flexibility, and variety, right? And like we talked about Notebook LM, I mean, it's not at that point, but it's just another resource that's utilizing AI.
It's utilizing it. And then as we start looking at us as educators, and we spin it back to that thing there, like creating those custom agents for yourself. Like, so when I want, I've experimented and trying to build a differentiation gem or agent. So I can take my lessons and then I prompted it or added materials to its knowledge base that it will take my lessons and then give me like 3 possible outcomes, like an ELL version.
Yep.
Or whatever version and this version of my lesson, and then combine it. So it's that partner that works along with me. So when I put in something that I've already created, it's already going to spit out the outputs that I'm looking for without having to ask it over and over again in a like take this lesson and differentiate it for this or this. It already knows what I'm looking for. So I think those are things to consider. And then looking at that Notebook LM, just like I would love to create those differentiated resources for my students by putting my material into Notebook. I can have that create it, edit it, and apply it without having to, have a conversation with a chatbot over and over again and try and use an image generator, which is...
Yeah, and the Notebook LM component, as we talked about in the last episode, it's just powerful in the educational space in general right now, right? So, and how massive it is, I don't know how that would be used in real world applications. When you think of the study and the studio stuff that you get from it, it's just incredibly powerful in an educational workspace. Could you imagine as us going through school, we had that?
I don't know.
Right? It's it would be mind boggling as, a resource that you can use to learn. Like students are very lucky in that regard nowadays to have the tools that are there to assist them overall. But I would say, as we start to wrap up this episode, the real magic of using AI, and I'm sure we'll touch base upon this again, is not picking the best tool, right? Because it's in learning how to combine them for your workflow, expanding how you think and work. I think that is the key.
Right. And also being able to set it up for being the most efficient for what you do. I know there's a lot of things out there for prompting. I've become a big fan of parts prompting. So I'll ask for, I'll set the persona, the role or expertise.
Take on the role, right.
So defining, I remember even go back, you brought up Michael Jabor, but he even said that too.
Yeah.
Define who the AI is acting at. You are a senior healthcare administrator with 20 years of experience. You are this. And then give it the assignments. Tell them what specific tasks that you want them to do, and the desired outcome. Like, these are the tasks I want you to look at, and then give me my outcome in bullet points, or give it in this format. Tell it the rules. Establish boundaries. That could be with only using certain files that you upload to it so it doesn't hallucinate. What tools or resources, that's where you can put in that knowledge base as well. And what is the workflow and reasoning that you want it to do? Maybe tell it first summarize, second identify the trends, third do this. But go in. So even if you have an idea, like this is what you wanted to do, go ask the bot to write you a parts prompt, and it'll start describing of what you'd want to see, and it can build that prompt for you.
I think that's the key, and you just kind of hit the nail on the head. And something to talk about is the art of prompting, because that you want to get the best. I guess, you want to utilize AI the best for whatever reasons you seem or deem necessary. If you can prompt, and that goes for our students too, right? As we think of, the portrait of a graduate, college, career readiness, all of the above. Like, if you can prompt successfully rather than just asking a regular question like a Google search, it's going to be light years ahead with powerful.
And then using those parts prompts to create those gems or those agents for you so you can continually go back to them.
Gems is something we got to talk about too. We got a lot to talk about, I guess. Not today, but, in general. But here's the thing. AI is a journey of discovery, and all these platforms are going to continue to evolve very rapidly. And I think, just take a moment and reflect and see how your AI strategy and how your AI use will evolve with those. So any other final thoughts, Dan?
No, I think I've shared enough.
You say that every week now.
I do.
You could keep going.
I could.
That's it. We're done. I got you. All right. Once again, thank you for all your support. Listen on all those platforms, leaving us reviews. You have any questions, comments, suggestions, please reach out. Oh, you got something.
We're done with the pod? I thought you were done with that topic. Okay, we can be done with both.
All right, everybody.
I'm just trying to
tech hard, work smart, live an adventure.
Find Andrew on all socials at @Nicola Tech and Dan at WCSD Tech DR.